Hey Rachel, let's take a look at the last sound effect. I call it a sound effect because it's really a observable phenomenon called the Doppler effect. Now, does it affect sound waves? Absolutely. Does it also affect light waves? Yes. Now, we will not spend much time exploring how the light waves could demonstrate Doppler, but they both can do it. So what is the Doppler effect? Well, have you ever heard an object go flying by you as an observer and the sound changed? But because the Doppler effect is about perception. It's not about the source of the wave changing, but the perception of the wave. And what actually happens is there appears to be a shift in the frequency. And it has to do with the motion of the source, of the observer, or both. And the frequency, there's supposed to be a shift in shift, a T in shift. The frequency of the source is fixed. The frequency of the observer is what is variable. So this is the part that can change. And you can, of course, watch that video, but I'm going to also link a few videos in this one, or we're going to show it. So let's picture the sound from a fire truck. Now, what if the fire truck is just practicing its horn, maybe doing a test for the little kids to get them used to loud sounds? And if the velocity of the fire truck is 0, the sound waves spread out in all directions from the source. But what if the truck is then, at a later date, starts moving, driving down the road, responding to an emergency, and there's a curious onlooker? Here's the observer. And what you see is that the waves on the way toward the observer seem to be getting closer, or another way of saying that is a higher frequency. It's not really changing, but because the object is moving into its waves, the waves are going to get to the person more frequently. The waves on the back side, behind the siren, are actually more spread out, and they would have a lower frequency. But if the observer is in the front, they would perceive higher. Now, if the truck goes past them, well, now they are perceiving lower frequency. So do you see what's happening is that depending on whether the object is moving towards the observer or away, the frequency seems to shift. So on the getting closer side, the frequency is higher. If it's moving away, if either object is moving away from each other, the observer or the source, that's a shift that's lower. So when race cars go by, they go and they dip down to a lower frequency. And the same as a train, and same would be true for a fire truck. And I've got a couple of videos on the next slides to show you that. So let's take a look at those. Okay. So going back to the original page, there is one last thing I'd like to introduce. I'd like to have you kind of tackle a single Doppler problem. So the Doppler formula looks like one of the more complicated problems we've done so far. Let's do a little bit thicker line. There's no doubt about it, that looks a little bit tricky. So what are all the F's and what are all the V's? Well, the F prime means the observed or the observer. What frequency do they hear? The F without the apostrophe is the source. So the siren or the train noise, and that does not change. It's just what we hear. Now, what are all the V's? The V's are really the speeds of the wave and of the source. So why is there a plus minus? Well, if it's approaching, the frequency is higher and the denominator has to, and we have to use a minus sign. So on approaching, we use a minus. If it's receding, the pitch is lower and the denominator has to get bigger. So we have to use a plus sign. So approaching means coming at the observer, and receding means moving away from. So here's a fire truck, and it's doing exactly what's pictured above. And it says, then on an emergency run, the ambulance was traveling. Fire truck. Must have changed my nouns. And it's traveling at 42 meters per second. So that's the speed of the source. The speed of sound is always 340 meters per second at average temperatures, not too hot, not too cold, about room temperature. And the siren is 1950 hertz. We're going to try to find the frequency when the fire truck is approaching or receding. And according to this, it says, let's do receding first. So F times V over V. And here's the question, do we use plus or minus? We should use plus for receding. So 1950 multiplied by this fraction, 340 over 340 plus 42. And I want to check my answer real quick. And we know that receding means a lower pitch. And when you do this part in the parentheses first, don't forget to put the denominator in its own parentheses. You actually get a decimal multiplied by 1950, and you get 1,735 hertz. And that is the lower shift because it is receding. When it's approaching, the fire truck, it says there's a cat now stuck in a tree, so the fire truck is now driving to the rescue scene. And we would do V over V minus the speed of the source, 1950 multiplied by the fraction 340 over 340 minus 42. And that's going to give us a higher pitch. Let's see if it does. Try it on your calculator and check your answer in just a minute. 340 divided by parentheses 340 minus 42. And you get 1.14 times 1950. 225 hertz. With some rounding, of course. It really comes out to be 224.83, but we can round to the nearest whole number. So that is a shift to higher frequency. Smaller, the videos didn't play, but you can. So I hope you can hear this video and it plays through. If not, do you notice you could search for this title on YouTube and get the full audio? Let's see if I can play it. So this is one of the tricks of Explain Everything. I'm not sure I can play the video there. So that's kind of a little bit of a deal breaker. I'm sorry about that. Application. See them right here, the Doppler effect explained visually from Science Clickin'. And the next one, let's see if this one plays automatically. No, it's interesting. It plays when I'm in preview mode, but as soon as I start recording, it doesn't. Let me hit pause. Nope, no deal. So you can find lots of locomotive passing videos where a fast-moving train goes by an observer, they have a microphone, and you can hear the pitch go from a high-frequency pitch as it's approaching, and then as it passes you, we get a lower frequency movement. And I'm sorry the videos didn't play. I knew it was possible. I'm still learning how to do that in this little recording. Then this is a train video where the train comes ripping toward the observer, and you can hear a definite downward shift. I'll give you a hint. You frequently cannot hear the higher frequency on the way in because we obviously we don't usually measure the frequency when the train's not moving. So that's an introduction to Doppler. And then what we did is we took a football outside and threw it around and tried a couple of demonstrations. I also have a buzzer that we can spin around and make its pitch change because the source is moving. One of the homework assignments is actually to tackle this thing called the beach walk practice quiz. It is not really a practice quiz. It's really just a reflection on all of the vocab words that we've used between beats and supersonic and the different kinds of sound waves.